Okay. I'd like to call the November 9th meeting of the Clean Energy Alliance Board of Directors to order. Please note for the record that Chair Drucker is participating remotely as listed on the agenda, and Board Member Bat Patel is participating remotely for just cause under Government Code Section 54953. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Certainly. Member Becker,
Present.
Member Bat Patel,
Here.
Member Melendez,
Present.
Member Garcia,
Here.
Member Joyce,
Present.
Vice Chair Musgrove,
Present.
Chair Drucker,
Present from the sunny state of Florida.
we have a quorum.
Thank you. Would you please join me in the salute to the flag? Ready? Begin.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any comments from the board or announcements to make? Chair Drucker, do you have anything to offer?
You've already said that I am here remotely. I posted the agenda appropriately and look forward to having you run the meeting today.
Great, thank you, sir. Member Bat Patel?
Yes, thank you. And I know you also mentioned that due to just cause for childcare related issues, I have to participate remotely. Other than that, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Will the board secretary provide the public commentary announcement?
Members of the public can address the board on items on the agenda at the time the item is being addressed or during public comments for topics that are not listed on the agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and in conformance with the Brown Act, no board action can occur on items presented during public comment. If you desire to speak during public comment, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the board secretary. I believe you can submit it to Johanna in this case. And when you are called to speak, please come forward to the podium and state your name. To address the board regarding an item on the agenda, please fill out a speaker slip and submit it to Johanna before the board chair announces the item. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on topics not listed on the agenda?
We have no requests to speak.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We'll move on to new business. First item, item 1, to consider an approval of establishment of a feed-in tariff program and direct staff to return with program guidelines and related documents. I would ask the CEO, Barbara Boswell, to present the item.
Thank you, Vice Chair Musgrove. The item before the board for consideration is approval of establishment of a feed-in tariff, also known as community solar program, with the recommended criteria as identified in the staff report, and to direct staff to develop a marketing campaign, program guideline, application, and power purchase agreement, and return to the board for approval, full approval of the program. This Clean Energy Alliance Board has, and as well as the Community Advisory Committee, have previously prioritized establishment of a feed-in tariff program, also known as community solar. This type of program incentivizes locally situated small-scale renewable energy projects, which is also identified as a priority of Clean Energy Alliance, having locally generated renewable energy. The purchase of the energy is priced to recognize the value of the locally generated renewable energy. This would be a standard offering as opposed to Clean Energy Alliance issuing a request for offers. So we would develop the program, have this as a standard offering that we would wait to receive applications from. The standard offering would include a predetermined price that Clean Energy Alliance would pay for the energy. It would establish the delivery term, typically 10 years or longer, identifies the project size limitations, and includes a predetermined power purchase agreement. So there isn't, these items are not negotiated as part of the process. They're set ahead of time by the board. Based on research of similar types of programs being offered by community choice energy projects, and in discussions with our technical consultants who manage CEA's power portfolio, we've identified the following criteria and recommend that this criteria be used to develop the program. The project must be within Clean Energy Alliance territory. It can be in any of our cities, including Oceanside and Vista, even prior to them being enrolled, because they are already a full member of Clean Energy Alliance. Projects would be a minimum of 500 kilowatts and up to a maximum of 1 megawatt in size. Initially, we're proposing that we accept no more than 4 projects. We believe that that is that number of projects are manageable with our current staffing. We also recommend that the base offer price be $85 per megawatt hour, and that we offer a additional bonus offer price of $15 per megawatt hour if the project includes a co-located battery storage. So a solar plus battery storage could be eligible for 100 megawatt hours, $100 per megawatt hour. There would be a $500 non-refundable deposit submitted with the application. The term of the agreements would be 20 years, and that these be new projects. We want to see new locally situated renewable energy projects. In addition, the renewable energy credits that are created with this project would be transferred to Clean Energy Alliance in order for Clean Energy Alliance to include these renewable energy in its power portfolio and claim the renewable attributes. The program guidelines would be written to be consistent with Clean Energy Alliance's adopted inclusive and sustainable workforce policy. The Community Advisory Committee considered the program and these criteria, and the majority of the committee did support the development of the community solar program with this criteria. Program funds for this program would come from our adopted 2023-24 power supply budget. And Vice Chair Musgrove, that does conclude my presentation, and I'm happy to answer questions that the board may have.
Thank you, Barbara, very much. Do we have any members of the board that have questions? Yes, Member Joyce.
In selecting the 4 projects, is there any weight given to projects that are proposed to be using space that could only be used for these kind of power projects, like brown sites?
So that I understand your question, are you asking if we can restrict it to those pipes, or?
No, if we end up getting 20 proposals and we're selecting 4, I guess, how can we weight those against each other?
We do have a bid criteria policy that the board has previously established that would provide guidance in weighing those projects against each other. Certainly, so if we receive, 4 projects that are, let's say they're all sized 500 kilowatts, so we're only up to 2 megawatts, we may look at it and determine if we feel we could award more. So we would first use our adopted bid criteria.
Thank you.
Yes, Member Becker.
So is it a first come, first serve? And are we able to, if they don't meet the criteria, we are able to say that they are not a candidate for this program? Is that correct?
That's correct. So it's
Okay.
a standard offering, so there's no deadline. And so it's as they come in, then we would evaluate them based on our criteria to determine whether or not they meet the criteria as established in the program, and then also then evaluate them based on our bid criteria.
Thank you.
Very good, Barbara. A quick question, though. Do we have any local companies that are making offerings now or that would be able to present something to us, given this?
I am not aware of any specific projects, but I do know that it's been expressed by members of the community that this is something that they would like to see Clean Energy Alliance offer in order to take advantage of potential programs, smaller scale programs. So larger than rooftop, but smaller scale in terms of what we typically look for through our bid processes.
So this is a process to be ready when that opportunity avails itself. We already have conditions and expectations in place instead of trying to put it together at the last minute.
Correct. And it also provides the person who may be considering it an idea of what we will be paying for that energy, and that can assist them in getting financing for the project.
Excellent. Is there a mechanism to advertise this into a specific arena for those who might be interested in providing that service? I know with an RFP, there's always boards that prospective applicants would look for. Is there a mechanism for that to happen?
There is, and in fact, we've heard from Clean Tech San Diego. They're very interested in the program and they could help us get the word out. And then we would tap into, the chambers of commerce, for example, because there may be business owners who have property that they may want to utilize for this opportunity. And then all of of course, our normal social media outlets, and it would be posted on our website until continuously until it's full or we extend it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Madam Secretary, do we have any members of the public who wish to comment on this?
We have no requests to speak.
Okay, thank you very much. At this time, we'll see. Do we have a member of the board?
One.
Oh, I'm
comment,
sorry.
please.
I didn't see a member.
No, I was
Melendez.
just inspired to ask one question. Thank you, Barbara, so much. I wanted to know if we could anticipate any type of negative issues, right, that could arise. And although this is an opportunity for those cities that have the potential to do a microgrid or some similar project, I would be concerned if there were unintended negative impacts, right? Like environmental impacts or even aesthetic impacts to the community. So could you speak to what we might anticipate in terms of, potential impacts or risks, and then what we would do to mitigate them?
Thank you, Board Member Melendez. So any of these projects would have to go through that city's normal permitting process for these types of projects. And so typically those types of issues are addressed through that permitting process. And we can certainly reach out to those cities and let them know we plan to make this offering and ask them to provide input in terms of issues or concerns they may foresee. And then we can work with them to address them.
So would you recommend that we work with our separate cities and we potentially identify sites or put in our own effort to study sites to anticipate what would be some of the best locations?
Typically for these types of programs, I haven't heard of CCAs being quite that proactive in trying to identify sites. Rather, it's you put it out there and wait for those that are interested in developing these types of programs to come to you. However, as part of the work that we will do in developing the program and bringing it back, we will reach out to each of those cities' building and safeties department and seek from them input with regards to concerns or issues they may have, and to see if they would like us to have anything in our guidelines that would address potential problems or concerns that they have.
Okay, I appreciate that. And I think it might even be an opportunity if we're not actively looking for sites, but we are providing some sort of technical support for cities so that if there are opportunities there, that they have the best chance of being able to implement them. So thank you for following up on that.
Thank you. Any other questions from board members? Chair Druger?
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Bob Patel?
Move approval.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, do we have a motion to accept the recommendation? Motion by Joyce, second by Garcia. Would you please call the roll?
Member Buffetel,
Aye.
member Joyce,
Aye.
member Melendez,
Aye.
member Becker,
Yes.
member Garcia,
Aye.
Vice Chair Musgrove,
Aye.
Chair Drucker,
Yes.
motion carries.
Excellent, thank you. Moving on now to item 2. We are going to consider an adoption of resolution 2023-011, approving the First Amendment to the Chief Executive Officer Employment Agreement with Gregory Wade to change the effective date of his employment. Do we have a presentation on this one?
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Kevin Ennis. I'm your special counsel, and I will present this item. The recommendation is to adopt Resolution 2023-011, approving the First Amendment to the Chief Executive Officer Employment Agreement with Gregory Wade, with one set of changes to the version in the agenda packet that I will orally summarize. By way of background to the discussion, as you know, on September 28th of this year, the board appointed Gregory Wade to be CEA's next chief executive officer effective December 1st of this year. Mr. Wade recently informed CEA that transition from his current employer into this new position would take longer than anticipated because he needs to address several issues that arose after his appointment, including providing sufficient time for his current employer, the city of Solana Beach, to select and appoint a successor. So to address Mr. Wade's request to provide that extension to his start date, documents were drafted, specifically a First Amendment to his employment agreement. And the version in the agenda packet provides that the start date, the effective date, would be deferred until the sooner of, number 1, February 1st of next year, or a date that is 30 days after Mr. Wade provides notice to CEA that he is able to commence his employment with CEA. So that second prong would have given the opportunity for him to provide notice and possibly begin an effective date, his start date, sooner than February 1st of next year. Yesterday, he relayed to us the fact that the city of Solana Beach is requesting that the deferral be specific to February 1st, 2024. Meaning that they feel, that city feels it'll need all of that time to get through as much as possible with their recruitment and selection of successor. And so he has relayed that request to us yesterday. So we are relaying it to you. And if you're inclined to agree to that, then I will I'll explain what changes will be needed to the documents. So with that, let me get into those changes just for the record. In case you are inclined to agree with that recent change that he's suggesting, we would do the following. The fourth recital of Resolution 2023-011 would delete the words "the sooner of either, Romanet 1, and then leave February 1st, 2024. And then delete or Romanet 2, the date that is 30 days after Mr. Wade provides notice to CEA that he is able to commence his employment with CEA. Those would be the changes to the resolution. All rest would stay the same. And then in the First Amendment to the Chief Executive Officer Employment Agreement, similar amendments in recital C and in section 2. The same types of deletions, leaving it so that the only effective date will be February 1 of 2024. So with that, that concludes my staff presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Ennis. Yes, Ms. Becker.
Yes, in the interest of transparency, I feel the need to just remind everybody that I am the board member from Solana Beach, but I've been informed that I don't have a conflict for this issue because I have no financial incentive in this matter. And I'll stand corrected if our attorney would like to say anything.
I have no disagreement with that position.
Okay, and I want to clarify another issue, Mr. Ennis, real quickly. When you started the presentation, you mentioned some consideration for Mr. Wade for the 30-day notice. That was part of a discussion with you. That's not part of the item before us today. You clarified that in the second half of the presentation that this culminates that to a February 1, 2024 date certain. Does that sound correct?
Yes, originally, when this amendment was being considered, there was some thought, and Mr. Wade thought that he could resolve these issues such that then he could start before February. But as I've indicated, the city of Solana Beach feels it needs the entire time and therefore would request that it just be a new start date of February 1st, 2024.
Okay, so this gives the organization, the city of Solana Beach, Mr. Wade, an opportunity to take pause and notice that February 1st, 2024 would be the effective start date.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any members of the board have questions? None present? Chair Chair Drucker?
No questions. Thank you.
Yes. Member Bob Patel?
No questions, thanks.
Okay, fantastic. We will entertain a motion to adopt resolution 2023-011, approving the amendment.
We need to have public comment.
Do we have public comment? I'm sorry, you're correct. Madam Secretary?
We have no requests to speak.
Great. Thank you for the reminder, Chair.
And the motion should be with the changes noted for the record in my presentation.
Right,
If
I
the
was
board is
preempted. I have
Thank
it. So I'll restart. Consider adoption of resolution 2023-011, approving the First Amendment to Chief Executive Officer Employment Agreement with Gregory Wade to change the effective date of his employment to include the additional comments from Mr. Ennis with the changes and stipulations to February 1, 2024. Is that accurate?
Yes.
I'll move.
We have a motion, second. Would you please call the roll?
Member Joyce,
Aye.
member Melendez,
Aye.
member Bob Patel,
Hi.
member Becker,
Yes.
member Garcia,
Aye.
Chair Drucker,
Yes,
Vice Chair Musgrove.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 3. Consider the adoption of resolution number 2023-012, approving the fiscal year 2024 position control listing. And Ms. Boswell, do you have a presentation for this item?
Thank you, Vice Chair Musgrove. I'll give a brief verbal presentation. The item before the board is to approve the position control listing, which provides the number of people that we anticipate hiring in the positions that have already been approved by the board. So the board has taken prior actions to approve the job descriptions for the positions. They have also approved the salary schedule for the positions, and funds for the salary and benefits for the positions have been included in the previously adopted budget. So this is a last step that we need the board to take to prepare ourselves to hire the staff. We have been undergoing recruitments, and we anticipate potentially hiring our first full-time regular staff in the coming months. So that concludes my staff presentation. I'm happy to answer questions the board may have.
Very good. Do we have any members of the public wishing to comment?
We have no requests to speak.
Thank you. Members of the board for comment? Member Joyce.
I just meant I'm good.
I caught you off guard. Thank you. Chair Drucker.
no questions or comment.
Thank you. Member Bob Patel.
I don't have any questions, thanks.
Great. Then we'll entertain a motion to adopt resolution 2023-012, for fiscal year 2023-24 position control listing. Do I have a motion?
I'll move approval.
Motion by Becker, and a second? Second by Melendez. Please call the roll.
Member Becker? Member Melendez?
Yes.
Member Garcia?
Aye.
Member Joyce?
Aye.
Member Bob Patel?
Aye.
Vice Chair Musgrove?
Aye.
Chair Drucker?
Yes,
Motion carries.
Terrific. Well, those are all the agenda items. Do we have any member comments? Member Melendez? I catch you off guard. Okay. We're good. Chair Drucker, any questions or comments?
yeah, just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy New Year.
Excellent.
See each other until January of 2020, 2025, 2024.
Thank you. Member Bob Patel.
No, nothing. Thanks.
Okay. Any questions or comments from staff? Fantastic. Then this meeting is adjourned.
Right.